Let's talk about the Mariners. Last time we talked about them, they were coming off a 1-6 road trip. It was doom and gloom. They were the worst team in baseball ever.
Nice.
Right?
Doom and gloom.
Since we talked, the team has gone 4-3. They went 1-2 in a series against the Astros, and then swept the Texas Rangers over the weekend. Lacey, let's talk about the Astros series. What did you see that was a problem for the Mariners?
So the issues really stemmed from the bullpen, other than Game 1, of course, when the Mariners went on to win 6-0. No issues there. But I thought I'd share something that my grandma said over the weekend. We were sitting on the couch watching the Mariners, and she said she was getting all heated up because one of the players kept throwing balls and walking guys. I don't even know what game it was in, but she said the pitcher should only be paid per strike. So every strike they throw, that's when they should get paid. $20 per strike or whatever. So I thought that was pretty cute, little grandma quote.
Not a bad idea.
But anyways, like I said, Game 1, Paxton pitched a majority of the game. He was in for 7 innings, and during that time he gave up 4 hits and had 8 total strikeouts. Then Dan Altavilla and Evan Scribner came in during the final innings to seal the deal, and like I said, Mariners go on to win 6-0. Good stuff there. Unfortunately, in Game 2, not the same result. We had Ariel Miranda left the game after going a little over 5 innings, and James Pazos, am I right there?
Yep.
Pazos, okay. Preference, tomato. James Pazos
I say Pazos, so.
was brought in to get the final outs of that inning. He faced 4 batters and gave up hits to all of them, which gave the Astros 2 runs. Nick Vincent pitched well, striking out 3 in a little over 1 inning there. And then Casey Fien was asked to pitch the final 2 innings, and he gave up 3 hits and 1 run during that time. So before Fien came in, it was a 1-run game, and he gave up a run, and it became a 2-run game. So if a reliever comes into the game when their team is trailing, they need to be able to keep the deficit where it's at, and that was not the case here. So we head into Game 3, and again we see Altavilla came in to pitch the 7th inning. He gave up 3 runs in that inning, and then Dylan Overton pitched the 8th, and he gave up 3 more runs. That's 6 runs given up by the bullpen. To take those 6 runs away, the Mariners would have won that game 5-4, but unfortunately they end up losing that one. So tough deal there. Could have been a winning series for the Mariners, but we gave up a few too many runs.
Yeah, I mean, I always have a tough time blaming the bullpen. We talk about it on here all the time. You know, DJ on the football field, would you rather convert 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 7?
Yep.
So if your starters don't give you a chance by getting into the 6th inning, getting into the 7th inning, letting, bullpen guy, even you talked about James Pazos giving up runs. It's a left-handed reliever that throws really hard. If he were to face left-handed hitters, he'd be fine. But he had to face lefties and righties, and he ended up giving a ton of runs. So, DJ, did you see any positives from the Astros series?
Yeah, the offense started to get going, and we kind of highlighted that a little bit last show, even though it was only a 1-game sample. But they ended up scoring 16 runs over those 3 games. And you would think that would be enough to win 2 games, but obviously we saw the result, and it didn't. In the first game, it was a combination of Mitch Haniger and Nelson Cruz. Haniger went 2 for 5 with 1 RBI and 1 run, and then Cruz heated up and went 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs. And like I said last week, my bold prediction was that Cruz was gonna get going, and he kind of has. In the second game, we scored 5 runs, and the main contributors that game was Taylor Motter, who went 3 for 4, and then Robinson Cano knocked in 2 runs as well. Then in the third game of the series, the Mariners were led by 2 rookies, and Taylor Motter and Mike Freeman. Motter and Freeman both went yard, racking up 3 RBIs between them. Then as we stand right now, some players to look at going forward, Taylor Motter has been really hot lately.
With that hair, too,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. He has the best flow in the game, and he's gotten some extra games in because Segura is still on the DL. But he's taken full advantage of that time. He's gone 321. Well, he's batting 321 right now with 4 doubles and 3 home runs. And then Mitch Haniger is proving his case for Rookie of the Year, batting .291, and he's tied for the lead on the team with 11 RBIs. And he also flashed some really nice leather on Sunday in order to keep the M's in the game. That he
did. I think Taylor Motter would be the fan favorite as is just because of his hair.
Yeah.
But then add in that he's playing well right now, and people love him. I think it's hilarious. Twitter goes nuts when he hits a home run, calling it a Motter Pop, and I think it's the funniest thing.
A
in the
Motter
world.
Pop.
I saw a sign last night that said Motter Pop.
Love it.
It's so good.
Like Otter Pops on there.
So after the Astros series, the team had a day off on Thursday. Mariners unveiled a Ken Griffey Jr. statue outside of Safeco Field. You guys have any thoughts about that statue? It's cool.
I think it's
pretty
well
sweet.
deserved.
Well deserved?
Yep.
You think so?
Yep. Because Griffey is, he's kind of the guy who got the Mariners. He put them, I guess, made them relevant. Put them on the map.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some could argue it's Edgar. Some could argue it's Griffey.
Yeah, I would definitely fall on the Edgar side of that argument, but we'll save that for somewhere down
the
line.
Edgar stayed around. He didn't go to another team. That probably has a big reason to do with it.
Didn't demand to be traded. Didn't ask to get out several times. Didn't quit in the middle of a season. Didn't.
Yeah.
There's room for 2 statues.
Is there?
There is.
Might be coming.
Yeah. Maybe along the third
there's
baseline.
6 statues out in front of Safeco Field.
I know.
What?
I visited AT&T Park down in San Francisco, and they have like 3 or 4 statues.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point.
The Mariners are still a young franchise.
That is true. They are only in their 40th season. All right, that sent us into the weekend against the Texas Rangers. Mariners swept the Rangers. It was really the starting pitching that sealed the deal for them. Started Friday night with Felix Hernandez. We learned last year that when he's hurt, this team isn't great. When he misses times, they missed the playoffs by 2 games in 2016, and Felix spent 7 weeks on the disabled list. So he needs to be on this team for this team to be anything. Hernandez went 7 1/3 innings. He gave up 6 hits, only 1 earned run, only 3 strikeouts, but he didn't walk anyone, and he hasn't walked anyone all season long. He's pitched in 3 games, no walks yet, so that's incredible. James Paxton won Game 2 for the M's on Saturday. Paxton went 8 innings pitched. He gave up only 2 hits. He walked 1 and struck out 9.
And he was the AL Player of the Week.
Yes, that did his performance from the Astros series and the Rangers series. AL Player of the Week, well deserved. He hasn't allowed a run in 21 innings pitched. So crazy what James Paxton is finally doing for the Mariners. And then on Sunday, like I said, it was a wild one. This was the day that the team's bullpen needed to pick him up because, let's see, I think it was Iwakuma, and he only went 3 innings, right?
Yep.
So bullpen ended up going, 6 innings. They gave up 1 run, and like I said, if your starters go deep, it helps your bullpen. The bullpen was able to go so long because the night before, or 2 nights before, Hernandez made it into the 8th. The next day, Paxton made it to the 9th.
Yeah.
Before he had to hand it over.
Mm-hmm.
Bullpen was well rested. That's tough.
Tongue twister.
Yeah, and there was a lot of theatrics. You mentioned the catch by Haniger. What'd you think of that, DJ?
I thought it was game saving,
and
especially for the morale of the team to see that, especially from a play of a rookie. I thought it was really uplifting for the team. Iwakuma has really struggled here. It'll be interesting to see going forward. He's allowed the most earned runs on the team with 9, and he got moved down to the 3rd starter instead of the 2nd. Paxton took over that spot.
Mm-hmm.
But I think really for the M's future success, Iwakuma is going to have to be better because it's not every day where you have a starter go 8 innings and then Paxton goes 7 and then you have Kuma. So,
well, and here's a question for anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Smyly is on the disabled list. He will come off at some point.
Yep.
This is another 4 or 5 weeks down the line. If Ariel Miranda keeps pitching the way he does, what decision are the Mariners going to have to make? Do you move Hisashi Iwakuma? Do you move Giovanni Gallardo? Do you send Ariel Miranda back down, even though he's pitching really well right now?
Mm-hmm. I think just for initial reaction, it would have to be send Miranda down because Smyly has proven he's pitched. He previously played for Tampa Bay, and they've been in the playoffs a couple years when Smyly was there, and Smyly has pitched in playoff games.
Mm-hmm.
Iwakuma, he hasn't pitched in playoff games, but he's proven himself at the MLB level. I think Miranda, he's still in the tweener stage where we don't really know what we're going to get. It could be one good start here, one bad start there. And I still think some of the MLB teams are still getting acclimated to him, and that
helps.
once they get used to him, I think we could see them start to hit him really well. But initial reaction, I would say send Miranda down. Just have him kind of in the back pocket, because then the MLB teams don't get more film on him, and you can just kind of keep him there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Very fair.
Do they have to send someone down when Smiley comes back?
Typically, the way baseball's played right now is that you have 5 starters and they just take turns. They go in an order, and once Drew Smiley gets back, that will be 6 guys who are technically starting pitchers.
Got it.
And you could see a situation where they drop Miranda down to the bullpen and then kick a bullpen guy out.
Yeah, that makes the most sense to me, honestly.
Yeah.
But
I mean, realistically, too, one of them will probably get hurt again in
Right.
the season.
Right. It
Miranda
happens.
comes back up.
That's very true. Very true. Like I said, 4-2. They're 2 games
hot.
under 500 all of a sudden, and
4-game winning streak.
4-game winning streak, undefeated with the Griffey statue outside of Safeco Field,
There we
which
go.
a lot of people are talking about, which is funny. But
Still selling grasshoppers.
yeah, have you had the grasshoppers yet?
sick. I can't even look at them.
So I had some buddies go on Friday, and they said, you know, like the chili lime Doritos.
Hmm.
They said it was like chili lime dust.
Ooh.
Because it's like so, like they're expecting something a little more meaty, but it's just so like crunchy and dry that it's
Ugh.
just like chili lime dust.
We should do a competition, and the 4 of us should go to a Mariners game and see. The loser of a competition has to eat a full thing of them.
See, like I wouldn't mind losing because I've heard they're not like terrible,
Yeah.
but they're not like super good.
All right, dude, you can try them. You go right ahead.
I think they're selling the most because they're actually good, or because people are like, "What grasshoppers? No
Grasshoppers,
way!"
I've
And
never
then they're
tried
like,
those.
and then they're like $4.
Yeah.
The cheapest thing you can get at a Mariners game. I think it's
Starving college kids. Are like,
oh
grasshoppers for dinner.
All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll talk a little POU baseball and softball. They're about to get ready for some postseason action. We'll tell you who you need to look out for. Don't go anywhere. This is Mass Radio Sports Talk presented by 3.5 Athletes on Loot Air Student Radio.